Now that we can move around in Focus 2, we're going to look at taking the assessments, putting them all together, and also some other resources you can use if maybe you want to consider some other careers that aren't showing up. So the first assessment that you'll be doing is the work interest inventory. And it just includes simple statements about how much would you agree that you would enjoy doing these things, such as designing graphic art images and illustrations for advertising media. That is not really my cup of tea, so I'm not going to select it. While working in a national park to preserve forests, wildlife, and natural features, that sounds really cool. And you'll just select for each of these, and you'll just select for each statement. So when I'm done with all the questions, I selected finished, and I got what is considered my Holland code. And I got investigative, social, and conventional. Sometimes you might pop up with you got two things tied. So for instance, if my conventional and realistic were tied, I might be given these descriptions and asked to choose, but that's just because they're so similar and you're choosing which one sounds like you more. These are the results that you're going to list on your self-assessments, these first three that you get. But at the end, if you press continue, you will be given careers that match. And a couple of things about how things are matched in here. If there is a degree very particularly tied at Wake Tech, it will show up in the first occupations matching your result. But if there's not a degree that Wake Tech offers, it'll show up in additional occupations. Since all of ACA 122 students most likely are going to be going on to get a bachelor's degree or higher, don't worry about which bucket the job falls into. All of these are valid results for what I got. And I'll show you what else you can do with these in a little bit. So I'm going to go back to the main screen and I'm going to do the next one, which is values. And values, this is it. You just select which the values are that you care about. Press continue, and again, there's the three that you're going to list, but then it shows careers that match. Going back to, we'll do skills because it's very similar to the values. Again, it's just these are the skills and what do you think you're good at. So those are my three. That's what I'll list on my assignment. But again, if I press continue, there's a whole slew of careers that match. Two more. The next one is the personality assessment. And this one, I want you very much, with all of these assessments, there isn't a right or a wrong answer, but especially with this one, don't put what you think you should put. Do what you do when you're most comfortable. So I've just completed my personality assessment and it takes me to this page that lists my results. If I press continue one more time, I'll be given a brief overview of adjectives on that page. And I'm given 5 adjectives. I'm going to list 3, just the first 3, on my self-assessment results. And again, as with other results, I have lots of careers that I can choose from. And the last assessment is leisure. And this is similar to the interest inventory in terms of how much would you like doing this in your spare time. And so again, when I complete, I'm given a list of aspects. When I'm done, I'm given aspects that are important to me. So I tend to like things that are inquiring, reality-based, and sharing. These are somewhat correlated with your Holland code. And you should probably see some overlap over there. And again, if I press continue, I get more careers. So let's talk about putting it all together. You can go back by looking at your results at any time and going to the list of careers, or you can combine all of your assessments. So if I go to combine my assessments, I'll select all of the ones that I want to combine and press continue. And not surprisingly, there is nothing that matches all 5 of mine, and that's okay. So don't worry if that happens. There are 4 occupations that are in 3 of them. Actually, it's 4 plus 13. So this is 17, and it tells you which of the assessments came up. One of the things I want to talk about is how you might not get a result that you're expecting. So for instance, I am a college professor, and yet it's not showing up on the top ones. There are some things that are fairly similar, like school psychologist or educational psychologist, so it's getting kind of close, but I want to research about being an educator, and I'm not seeing that up there. That is fine. You can still do some research. I do ask that you at least consider some of these other careers because we want to make sure we're making the best decision, and we do that by exploring other things. So one of the things you can also do in Focus 2, in addition to looking at your combined assessments, is explore just simply any occupation. And so let me look up teacher. Yeah, today the search button is not working, but I can still go to like just scrolling down based on this. So I'm just scrolling down to professor. And it says that this is a very general career grouping and to choose something a little bit more specific. And I'm going to choose this education. I've already saved this, and I'll show you that in a second. So if I choose education, I can save it, I can print it. It gives an overview of it. It gives job task. And what I really like is it shows me versus the kind of typical education professor. And if you'll notice, mine is not a one-to-one lineup. So I'm slightly more investigative than most education professors, and they tend to be more social than me. But social and investigative are still pretty high for everyone on that. And I can look at this and see some other things and see if they sound like things that are appropriate for me. Let me show you what it would look like to have not a good fit. So I'm going to go back to explore any occupation, and I'm going to choose something in sales. So sales managers. Look, this is what a not good fit would look like. So my highest are investigative, social, conventional, realistic. Sales is all very strongly in enterprising, and this would simply not be a good fit for me. So it doesn't have to match one-to-one, but are there general trends that are fairly similar that you're looking for? And like I said, you can save an occupation. When you save it, you can make comments about it. Don't want to do this. And I'm going to say that this would only be a 1. Earnings look pretty good about that, and I'll save it. Next time I log in, I can go and see all my saved occupations down here at the bottom and go to save occupations. So I've got strong ratings for education professor and very poor for sales managers. So hope you find that useful. If you have any questions, please ask your ACA 122 instructor.